Welcome to ChallengeForex. My name is Steve, and in today's video I'm going to share with you the way I go through looking at the charts each week to find out which pairs I feel are the best ones for trading. Part of my trading strategy is identifying which pairs are the best for trading, and then with that list go down to my actual trading strategy and start looking for the best trade setups for the week. So let's get started. So here we have a chart with a basic setup of EMA indicators, and I use this mostly for trend direction, and this also helps with identifying a good trade. But what I'm going to show today in this video is which pairs to avoid for starters and how to select the best pairs for trading. So what I'm looking for is basically a clean chart, something that is not in a sideways motion, something that is trending. And we can see on this chart we have a little bit of both, but we can see in this area that we're looking at now, it is a bit up and down. Looking at the 200 EMA, the price is going above and below it and closing both directions. So in this case, at this time, it is not good for trading. The other thing I look at as well is if it's below the 200 EMA, I'm looking for shorts, but also I want to see a pullback before I enter a trade so that I can get in at a discounted price. So let's have a look at some good examples on where we might actually find this. For starters, this pair, looking at this right now, I would not be trading it because it's close to the EMA and it is looking like it's in the process of a trend direction change. So we can see here we've been on a downtrend for multiple days, and now it looks like it's beginning to go up, but until it closes above the 200 EMA and starts to show a clear trend direction, kind of like this kind of structure here, then we're not really interested in trading. So what I do is load up all of the pairs, which is about 28 pairs I think it is, and gold as well, and I go through to look at which pairs I'm going to be trading for the week. So let's go through these pairs now. We can see here this is messy, not in a different direction, so not trading that one. This one actually doesn't look so bad, the Aussie Japanese yen. And what I'm looking at here is I avoid making trades where we are pulling back towards the 200 EMA. We can see here that we're definitely in an up direction, an uptrend for this pair, and we can see that we actually had a pullback to the 200 EMA and then I closed above it again. This pair looks like it would be a good one for me to trade, and the reason being it looks like we've had a pretty big pullback here after a long trend upwards, so a long trend basically, and we've had a turnaround at the 200 EMA and now it's beginning to go again. So if we have a close here in the next day or two above the EMAs, I will continue taking that long. But let's have a look at some other pairs and we'll see what I'm thinking of as well. So this one I'm looking at here, we see a close below the 200 EMA and it looks like it's actually trending in that direction. So I will be watching this one for a few more days, and if it starts to I guess if it continues to go down, then I'll be looking at taking shorts. But this would be the sort of setup I'd be looking for: a pullback to the EMAs and then a close below and then take short. The stop loss would be above the swing high. Okay, this one, when I look at the chart, it just looks messy to me. It's not clear. You can't really see which direction it's going at the moment, and it is kind of going sideways with a lot of up and down. So ignoring that pair, ignore this one as well. So going through the chart each day before trading, I can actually get a pretty clear idea which pairs I want to trade. So this one, it's another Japanese yen pair again. and we can see here we are in a long trend. We are quite a good distance away from the 200 EMA. It's sloping up really nicely. We've had a pullback here to just below the moving averages, and then a close above, and this would have been an entry point on either of these two candles. Let's see, like a 20 pip stop loss basically, and aiming for probably about a 1.5R trade on those. And this one as well, another Japanese yen pair. We've got a double bottom here after a pullback, so the perfect entry would have been after this candle, and that's around 50 pip stop loss, and it has gone up to about almost 90 pips at this stage and still going up. You can see here we've had a couple of small pullbacks, and this one we are sort of in the middle of a range at the moment. It's sort of going sideways and it's close to the 200, so skip that one altogether. This one also looks a bit messy, and this pair as well. Continue to go through all of the pairs and look for the perfect setup. And here again we have another kind of like almost a double bottom, a good setup, and here right at the close of Friday's trading, this is the end of the week, we actually have a perfect setup. Now, being at the end of the week and a Friday afternoon, I'm not going to enter that trade. That is basically, I think, around 4 or 5 p.m. or something like that, whenever the end of the day is in the New York session. I'm not sure, but this is the end of the day, so the setup looks good, but it's not an entry. Looking for something like that in maybe the Asian or the London session would probably be a better idea. So here on the Euro USD, we can see here that it's kind of messy at the moment, so I wouldn't be trading this one right now, but we did actually have a period over the last week or so where we were having pullbacks to the EMAs and then closing below over several days, and if you happen to get in at the right time, you would have actually got a really nice big move here as well. Okay, now this one is the pound CAD, and we have actually been in a downtrend for a while, and we have actually had some pullbacks to the moving averages. Especially this one here is a good move. We would have entered probably after this candle, about 27 pip stop loss. And let's see where it went down to, about 50 odd pips, so almost a 2-to-1. Now we had a bit of a turn in direction here and a pullback to the 200 EMA, but then again it closed below the 200 EMA, so now we would continue looking for short trades on this one. And here we have another Japanese yen pair, and during this period I would say no trading. You can see here it's trading back towards the 200 moving average, but it looks like it's actually bounced from that now and starting to go long again. In this particular case, with the moving averages getting further away from the 200, and we've got here the 8, 13 and 21 in a good upward direction, a pullback to the 21 moving average, and then at this point here where it closed above would have been the perfect entry, and that's about a 30 pip stop loss, so that would have been a nice trade. Again, this one doesn't look so bad, but just where it is at the moment, we are probably going to continue looking for shorts because it's below the 200 EMA, and this almost looks like a setup here actually, but because it's the weekend and that was a Friday close, I'm just going to watch to see what it does on the Monday before thinking about getting into a trade there. Pound dollar, we actually had some good setups over the last couple of weeks, or last week or two, and perfect setups that I can see here. We've got this one, entry would have been at this candle. That's a 32 pip stop loss, and if we decided to close when the price closed above the 21 moving average, we would have got 100 pips on that one, so that would have been a good trade. Normally I'll go for something like a 1.5, so in this case we would have had like 30 pip stop loss and a 45 pip target, so we would have actually reached that one on the same day. The next day we would have had another setup as well, so here's the entry, 22 pip stop loss, so over 50, so that's more than a 2R, so my 1.5 would have been around here somewhere, 35 pips, so it would have been an easy one as well. If we took another trade here at the bottom of the slope, we would have probably got stopped out, so that's when we get in a reversal signal. And here we're trading back towards the 200 moving average, so no trades at all during this period, so the 200 being a good filter. So these, not so great. The location, the pricing is hanging around the 200 moving average. It looks like it's been trading down for a while and it's reversing. So this may actually continue to go down, but could turn around and go up as well. So we don't know at this point. And this one is another Japanese yen pair, and where it is at the moment, it looks like a nice pullback and looking for a close above, but it's the weekend now. This is Friday close, so we're looking at this to see what happens on Monday, and we may or may not get an entry on Monday, but let's see anyway. And the CAD, this is another good one that looks like it's been trending well. We can see here we've pretty much had every day in the New York session a pullback and then a close again above the moving averages. So that's like about a 25 or 26 pip stop loss, and if I'm going for 1.5, then I would have reached that on this trade. Actually, I would have reached that on probably almost every trade this week, doing the same thing. But we can see here bouncing off the 200 EMA multiple times, so it's really it's really following its own rules, basically bouncing off the 200 EMA and being consistent. And this one is USD Japanese yen, so the pound yen, sorry. We can see here, perfect setup. We've got a bit of distance here between the 200 moving average and the price action and the faster moving averages. But we can see here as well, we've got the pullbacks to the moving average and then a close above. We've got here again pullback and then closing above higher highs as well. Every day this week we could have probably put a trade in. And now just for the last couple of days though, it's been moving sideways, and also here we can see a bigger pullback towards the 200 moving average. So over the last few days I would have skipped it, but during probably last week we could have had a trade every day on this pair. And the last one we've got here is gold. We can see here at the moment for the last few weeks it's been going sideways, so no trades here. But if we go back a little bit further, we might have seen an area where it was trending. Now it looks like it hasn't been good for a while, maybe for a couple of months, but this is the kind of thing I would like to see on gold. So we can see here each day we have pretty much a pullback at some point and then a close above and moving higher. So this would have been our setup. We would have had another one over here, looking at this point, the beginning of this new day, and again over here. So this is the end of the day for trading. We probably open at the beginning of the next day, and at this point we would have had no trades, and it's heading back towards the 200 EMA, so trading would be halted on this pair. So as you can see, we've actually had quite a few trade setups on multiple pairs, and the majority of them seem to be on the Japanese yen pairs anyway, that we've been looking at the best trades. But this gives you a bit of an idea of how I look for the best pairs for trading and which ones to avoid, and hopefully this will help you as well. Leave a comment below if you like, let me know what you think, and if you think that this idea might help you with your trading, or even if you're doing something similar to this yourself, that's great. And if you would like to see more of these type of videos, hit the like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you.